Hello everybody and welcome back to the secondary stream of the Intel Extreme Masters Taipei Day 3, where we are watching and playing Group C and D. After today, at the end of the day, we will know the final 8 players of the Intel Extreme Masters in Taipei. The first 4 made it yesterday, including Protoss gods like Rain and Classic.
Yeah, some pretty good players so far today.
Pretty good players, Nate. You're
Pretty
talking
good.
You mean like they're like top 50 GM on the North American server? No. These guys are really good. Pretty good players, like Rain made it, Classic advanced as well.
You know,
who was this other scrub of Group A that made it through? Yeah, who was it dude again? Yeah, we had like Hyun qualifying or something.
Yeah. I heard he got top 50 GM once.
Yeah, I heard he played a lot of games on the NA server but couldn't make it to GM. And who was the guy who won Group A again, Nate? It was not Polt. Oh, the CJ enters hero. Yeah, that Protoss play is also alright. I've seen him win a game. No! You guys should be really stoked, and I'm really stoked for tomorrow when the quarterfinals are starting. Of course, then everything is going to be best of 5. Every series is going to be an absolute cracker, as Red Eye and Colorus would say. But for now, we are watching Group C action. This is the lower bracket match. The winner of this series will move on to play against either Live or Soki. Not a pre-foresight, but someone has to do it. It's a dirty job, Nate, but someone has to kill those banelings.
That's true.
The loser can go home, can go sightseeing in this beautiful tower that they have in Taipei.
That everyone that's at the event has taken a picture of and posted on Twitter.
Yep, and I'm still jealous every single time I see them. But then I think about the 40-minute drive I have going home, and
them on being on 12-hour, 14-hour flights.
Yeah, then I'm not that jealous anymore.
All right, well, we are loaded in, as you guys can see. This is going to be the first game of our second match of the evening. In the top right position, and the blue, he plays for Millennium. He's on a very old school OGS account. He is ForGG. He's one of my favorite Terran players to watch. More so in TvT and TvZ though.
Yep, I know that he's one of your absolute favorites. Over here on the left bottom side of the map, we have our red Protoss player that is representing the Yowie Flash Wolves. It is San, one of the most consistent players in 2014. Made it into the final 8. Pretty much every single tournament he attended. I think it was actually every single tournament. But definitely still waiting for those big victories. Came very close in WCS Europe Season 2. But not, as impressive as that was, in 2013 and 14. I just still feel it was kind of unfair. They had a few Koreans, but not that many. And it's just mostly San beating up on Europeans. And then beating 1 or 2 Koreans on the way there. It was stacked, but I definitely think that WCS NA was way more stacked than WCS Europe.
Yeah, by far.
And obviously WCS Korea was the most stacked out of all of them. But we'll see how well San does this year. Once again, he still has the support of Yowie Flash Wolf, so he will be traveling around the world, competing in all these tournaments. But he has his work cut out for him. He looked hopeless in his first series against Soki. Soki truly looked like a better player than San did.
Yeah, well, I mean, 4GG at the same time got Tyrannosaurus wrecked by Life in the series that they played. So
that was closer than the Soki San series.
I mean, bleeding out over 20 minutes and barely not actually dying doesn't, in my opinion, make it that close. But
on a certain point, he had like 50 Marines.
As a Terran player, I don't know. In my opinion, 4GG, like those last 17 minutes were like Life pressing a bunch of buttons and being like, why won't you just die? Just roll over already. And 4GG's kind of like laying there.
Yeah, it was kind of like this UFC cage fight where the guy knows he's won.
Yeah.
Like, really
what was that fight we watched? It was just like, he's like, oh, yeah.
McGregor
yeah, exactly.
against the Russian man.
Yeah, it's like, well, you know what? It looks like he's, it's like he didn't immediately get knocked down, but he was pretty much dead from the start.
That is kind of true. Anyways, the Reapers into the main base of San. You definitely don't want to end up losing one of your probes. I do like the SimCity over here by San. That's something I have to do myself way more often because I hate Reapers with the biggest passion.
Yeah, I mean, I hate them too. Don't worry, Kev. Building them.
Wow, that's a quick Twilight, mate.
Skip them. Yeah, it's a really quick engineering bay from 4GG as well. Dat fast +1 though. That fall out of style.
Yeah.
Well, San is known for doing these builds, isn't he?
Do you remember that Cloud had this build in Wings of Liberty where he would rush out +3 attack and no armor?
As Terran, right? Yeah, it's good. Flash has done it a few times. Armor actually has very little impact on most unit engagements for Terran versus
It helps
Protoss.
Against Stalkers, but against Zealots, Zealots do a lot of damage anyway.
Zealots are always going to 3-hit Marines once you get your combat shields, so regardless of whatever your armor upgrades are. So.
Attack, of course, is a different story.
2-base Blink from San.
Yeah.
We've seen him go 1-base. I mean, like, there's the San build, like the San Cheese, which he busted out at BlizzCon against Jakshi, which to many people's dismay was like one of the most dirty builds ever
Was
used.
that the Oracle into Blink Stalker contain?
You can go Blink into Oracle as well.
Yeah, that was so cool. That was a really cool
That was
build.
disgusting.
On Foxtrot Labs, that was Protoss art.
No.
Yes.
Oh, that's Protoss graffiti. He defiled that. He defiled that map.
I don't think so. I think he...
You can't go back to that map without a cross, lest that dirty evil find you.
A few Marines, and I believe a Marauder as well is making his way across. No, it's just Marines. Didn't he have a Marauder, Nate?
I mean, his +1 attack is actually fast enough that
He's got a +1 Marine attack.
A +1 Marine timing. He still needs what? How much time is actually left on this upgrade? Another 20 seconds.
By then,
It's really sick because this will actually give him a huge leg up in a straight up fight. But that Photon Overcharge.
Yeah, Photon Overcharge and a well-placed force field. The Reaper is going to be sacrificed. I actually don't like that because the Reaper is really good in soaking up damage. We'll see how many Marines ForGG can get over here. Or probes, I should say.
He gets pushed back right as his +1 finishes. So
he got 1 probe. Hey, supply block. No, wait, never mind. I thought it was
that's not fun.
But the Python just finished up. So Observer being wiped out. Ah, 2 Forges. So Son is basically saying here, you know what I'm going to do?
I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, I'm going to sit on 2 bases for a certain amount of time. And I'm completely okay with it. I'm going to get a lot of probes. I'll just make sure that you won't be able to do any damage. This is definitely a defensive Blink opening. He's just going to try to snipe medevacs left and right. I like playing this kind of style, Nate. This is my type of PvT because I'm not good enough to go up to 3 bases very quickly. I'm sure Son is good enough, but he's also perhaps a little bit worried. So he says, you know what, slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, ForGG is a really good player. Difficult as far as like forcing mistakes out of him goes. Most of the time that ForGG will lose, it'll be more on the strategical side, or he'll make some questionable choices. But he's not gonna be the guy that gets supply blocked a crazy amount of time or miss things like upgrades. Even though he went for that quick Marine attack, he's still gonna have medevacs out at the 9:30 mark or so. So
yeah, that's so quick.
Yeah, he's gonna have those 10-minute drops prepared. But you know, as you pointed out, Son playing 2 bases and having that fast blink that we mentioned earlier will really allow him to jump around his main alive. Wow, that was a bit unfortunate.
I think he got a Stalker there.
I think he scanned for the Observer.
Okay,
did he actually kill a Stalker?
No, you're right. He got the Observer. He got the Observer and a probe, and that is 75.25 is the cost of an Observer, right?
Yeah.
Wait.
It's 25.75.
Yeah. I was like, what am I doing over here? And then he got 1 probe, so that means the 150 resources lost in 2 units.
Yeah. Now, actually, a couple of these stalkers are out of position. ForGG making.
He doesn't have a whole lot of stalkers. I don't like that he has 3 stalkers. I think he should always have 5 stalkers.
Yeah, you dropping at the edge of the main is really nice here because as long as he's fighting outside the range of Photon Overcharge, he will wreck these stalkers head on.
Oh, there is a Colossus in his army, though.
Oh yeah, now the Colossus should basically take it out.
Yep.
Stalkers should be blinking for it already. I feel.
Yeah.
He could have gotten both medevacs.
He's gonna end up losing 1 stalker, 2 stalkers. That's a pretty successful drop because he got a couple of zealots as well, and the Colossus.
Marines and 1 medevac, and he's ready to actually run in again. The
Colossus
3rd base hasn't been started, but he'll kill his probe.
It's on half HP. 1-1 is about to finish up for a Protoss. Is going to make this defense a little bit easier. ForGG is going to stim forward. Photon Overcharge activated once again. Extended Thermal Lens is not ready yet. Makes this a little bit more tricky as well. But
and ForGG has his +2 on the way. This is actually a really nice time to have +2 coming in. I actually really like this position as far as the upgrades go for ForGG. Losing the medevac hurts, but he's actually still at 5 medevacs, so pretty comfortable amount as he starts to move into Vikings. And his 2nd starport is now on the way too.
Well, the Zealot does spot this command center. Do you think this is going to be a Pool the Boys build? Because it kind of looks like it. It's going to play against a Protoss that has access to 3 bases very late. That means most likely no Storm. That means he's going to rely on Colossus killing bio units. ForGG is going to have a slightly better economy because the 3rd command center is going down right now. 2nd starport going down. To me, this really smells like I'm going to make a bunch of Vikings and pool my SCVs.
Maybe, but I feel like he doesn't. I feel like he really doesn't need to. If he has the army and +2 coming in this quickly, he has the choice.
Is he misreading this? Did he never scouted both forges, Nate? He actually thinks he's being 2-based all in.
Perhaps, but as long as he actually uses his 3rd base. If he lifts that 3rd base off and floats it away, then
now he realizes something else.
Then he's in trouble. But otherwise, yeah, I think he's actually in a really okay, and I wouldn't say a fantastic position because his 3rd base won't be mining before the 3rd base starts of San. Like San's is on the way. He needs to get out and perhaps what you said holds some weight in regards to ForGG maybe playing a bit passive, staying at home.
I actually kind of like how this is going for San. Of course, ForGG is up in supply, and he will. But if ForGG does not pull SCVs, I think San is going to be fine. He has only 4 Vikings right now against the 3 Colossus of Sun. His Sun uses photo. Okay, well, there we go. SCVs are being pulled. He needs more Vikings right now, though. Does he have 8 now? No, 6.
Yeah,
Soon 9, but
I don't know how I feel about this.
I mean, if there's no photon overcharge on this Nexus,
he has to hit now, but
yeah, charge is only halfway down. No charge definitely makes this a lot better for ForGG as well.
He needs to go before that Nexus finishes.
I just don't think that this Viking count is
Sun,
high enough.
Sun
has no idea where this army is, right?
Yeah, Sun forfeits the 3rd.
Well, he hasn't. He has a very good idea. And is ForGG gonna? ForGG should just go back now, in my opinion. Just send those SCVs home.
Yep, but it looks like he's gonna.
I really would not.
If there's one thing us Terran players are, Roddy, it's very stubborn. He's gonna push
time
in.
warp.
No time warp place. The Vikings are actually kind.
Oh, he's gonna go for this Nexus as well, Nate.
Yeah, but he just dumped like 750 hit points of damage into it without actually killing it and lost a significant portion of his army.
So he lost 11 SCVs for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, pretty much. So the Stalkers blink up, 1 medevac down, he should be able to get the next 2. ForGG's going to spread out and take this fight, but charge, as you mentioned, Kevin, it's done. Most of the Vikings still alive for this army, though. He's picked off 1 Colossus, 2nd Colossus is down, and
just go back,
the Zealot's still being a huge pain. The one thing that's nice is that ForGG has his +2, so normally this fight, the Terran gets completely wrecked, but in this case, just spread out your Marauders once the Zealots are gone and kill everything.
Yeah, Sun is still winning this fight, and when I said just go back, Sun, I didn't mean that he's not winning this fight, because it was, but the Zealots were so far ahead of the rest of the army, but in the end these 2 Colossus do survive. I thought 1 more was going to fall, but he already did good enough, and he just chased down those medevacs, and he picked off quite a few Vikings. I don't think he had to lose as many Colossus as he did there. In the end, I still consider that a massive, massive victory for Sun. We're looking at 55 probes with 2 upgrades against 38 SCVs. ForGG is probably just going to try to do the same thing all over again. Now there is Templar Archives being wiped in, though, and I would say, you know, 3 or 4 High Templars with Storm is going to seal the deal for Sun. I don't honestly, like ForGG, after he got the cancel on this base, I don't think he should have done this. You're on 3 bases, man. Just send those SCVs back. Make more Vikings, because the Viking number was not overwhelming. It was definitely not the type of Viking number that says, I'm going to run into your natural, I'm going to idle above Stalkers and Photon Overcharge. No. Like, he barely had enough to win a straight up fight.
Yeah, now he's rebuilding medevac, so he can't even get his Viking count high enough to do another pull. If he does, I think he's just going to get wrecked, because now there's Archons in the mix. We all know Archons.
Okay, he's going to pull all the SCVs again.
Those SCVs are going to be like little Zerglings, Roddy. And those Zerglings, what happens when they run into Archons?
They die.
Horrible, painful deaths.
This time there is no Photon Overcharge, though. How many Stalkers do we have? 7 against... we have the Archons.
There's no Photon Overcharge, Roddy. I guess it does a good job of usually baiting the AI, but I feel like that's like... I don't think he needs it anymore to hold this. He should wreck him.
Yep, with these 3 Colossus, as long as the Colossus survive, he's going to be more than fine. These Zealots are actually going to deal a lot of damage as well. There are Archons in the mix too. Stalkers doing a good job in sniping the majority of these Vikings. And ForGG's supply is just plummeting, man. This is going to be game number 1. Sun is going to win pretty convincingly in the end against ForGG.
ForGG taps out. Sun wins, like you said, but ForGG did not have to lose the game like that.
No, he didn't have to attack into the natural.
You cancel the 3rd base. Your +2 is ahead of the the Protoss player's +2, which is really all you need to be.
Sun did have 2 too, though.
Yeah, like both players had +2, but you and I both know in Terran versus Protoss, if the Terran's on an equal upgrade, then it's usually pretty good for fighting Zealots. Like if he has +2 armor versus +1 attack, then as a Terran you're kind of screwed. But like I feel like he wasn't behind enough that he really needed to do an SCV pull to win the game.
No, I think the first SCV pull to try to kill Nexus number 3, I could sort of get behind that. But I just don't think he had to run into the natural. That was just a perfect position for all the Stalkers, that blink on top of his natural ramp, so to speak. And he got a couple of free shots off. He dumped a lot of damage into the Nexus, and then he changed his mind. Like, if he would kill that Nexus too, even if you lose a bunch of forces, I'm okay with it. You have 3 orbitals on the other side of the map.
The Nexus is 1,000 shields. He pumped 800 damage into it. That's enough to kill like all the Stalkers, to kill a couple of the Zealots in that army.
But even if he goes all out on the Nexus and loses a bunch of units, like, I'm still sort of okay with it. Then he can just run back. And he has 3 orbitals, and what is Protoss going to do on a 1-base economy? That's awful. I don't think that you want to attack, because if that attack doesn't work, then you lose the game. So Sun would most likely still just like try to rebuild his own Nexus, despite maybe being up a little bit. I don't know. It was an interesting game. I just don't think that ForGG should have been SCV pooling into a 2-base Protoss on double Forge. But he misread the game as well. He misread the game at first because he threw up defensive bunkers. He's like, he's going to Colossus attack me. And then suddenly it's like, oh, wait.
You pointed it out. He didn't see the double Forge.
Well, our Dreamhack Winter Champion is right now one map away from being eliminated of the Intel Extreme Masters in Taipei in the group stage. That would definitely be a little bit disappointing for him, especially against Sun. Sun, of course, a strong player, you know, a very consistent force throughout the entire year of 2014. But Sun is no Rain. Sun is no CGNT's hero. I wouldn't even say he's a classic either. You know, Sun is very good, but he's not the absolute god tier of Protoss. He's just one step below that. And I feel as a Dreamhack champ, as
He's a
ForGG,
demigod.
Demigod?
Yeah.
It's almost a god.
He's half human.
Alright, well, I can get behind that. Anyways, it's not over yet for this purple Terran that's spawning on the left top side of that wing. It is, of course, ForGG, representing Millennium.
He's so good. I'm really surprised that he went for that style last game.
What is Sun doing? Is
Yeah,
Sun
what
AFK?
Sun PC crash?
Yeah, this is not right.
Something bad happened.
I wasn't born last night, Nate. I know this is not how Sun likes to play this game.
I feel like
We're going to rehost this one.
yeah. What happened?
I don't know what happened, but
You think his keyboard and mouse died? He built
Yeah.
one probe,
yeah, that's really weird.
and then how does it? You think someone like put a? Do you think like a ninja captured him at his PC?
I just hope he's alright, man. Right now I'm worried. Maybe this is the moment where he's morphing from a demigod into a real god. He's like,
You think
too
he just
much power!
You think he like went from like a Zergling into like a Baneling cocoon at his PC?
No,
he's
he
like,
just went
he built a probe, and like as he made contact with it, he got like recalled out.
This is the moment where you go from Squirtle to War Turtle, and you just like can't touch the keyboard because there's too much water.
What? that doesn't make any sense.
Why?
I don't think he's gonna go Nexus first at 7 supply. So
remake
Sun
Sun
PC
freeze.
freeze. Well,
Yeah.
that's
I am so happy that we were not one of these guys like, oh, he stopped making. Nate, he's gonna go for a 7 supply pipe. This build is crazy. I have seen. No, we were
this
immediately.
guy's build is crazy.
We immediately were like, yeah, you know, this something is not
Yeah,
right
it's
of him.
not really a thing. It's like maybe San's feeling lucky, but that lucky.
Mhm. That wing just like send your probe across the map, and then just build two
The
gateways
7 supply Nexus first.
in photon overcharge rush. Right on the moment that ForGG want to go commence in the first, he's like, ah, Protoss, and he just leaves the game.
That's.
What are you expecting on that wing, Nate? Big series, of course, big game for both players. What do you think ForGG is going to do? You're a big fan of ForGG, you know him very well. What is the thought process
He
of this
plays
excellent
standard
Terran?
TvP. Like his TvP isn't really all that flashy.
Maybe some Marine Hellion action over here? Maybe Marine with one Widowmine in the main and some Hellions in the natural?
No,
No?
not really feeling it. Especially since like, sometimes ForGG is the kind of guy that has enough builds that after doing that, after what just happened, he might just be like, maybe I'll do something different, or he might do the same thing. ForGG plays very predictable styles in most of his matchups. The difference is that he's really good at decision making in other matchups like TvT. And obviously, you know, he has control advantages in matchups like Terran versus Zerg when he's got Hellions and Banshees. In Terran versus Protoss, like ForGG used to be that guy that was really stubborn and went for the Hellbats with Blue Flame to mix into his army, but I mean, eventually everyone realized that sucked, so he stopped doing that.
Okay.
So I'd love to
think-
give you some sick insight, but I don't think ForGG is going to do anything crazy.
Well, I'm calling it here as the non-Terran expert. I think we are going to see some Hellion Widowmine openings from ForGG. I don't think he's just going to sit back and let Sun do whatever he wants. Over here on the left top side of the map, we have that Protoss player I just mentioned.
He built more than one probe.
Representing the Yowie Flash Walls, not going for a 7 supply Nexus or Pylon. It is a Sun. How cool would it be if Sun just reconnected to Battle.net and is actually like, never mind guys, I'm fine, and just drops that 7 supply Nexus first and wins the game.
That would be an earth-shattering moment.
Over here in the right bottom side of the map, we have the one, the only, ForGG, representing Millennium and the reigning champion of Dreamhack Winter.
Yeah.
You know, in Warcraft 3, Nate, the search times were often very late, or very long, late at night. And back then, whenever you have a game, it wouldn't tap you back into the game, like StarCraft does.
Oh.
So, you know, you would have to wait for like 7 or 8 minutes, and then I'd just be like reading wcreplays.com or something, and then suddenly it's like, I'm a game, and I see like, oh man, how long has been going on? And then like they're like, oh, 30 seconds and 40 seconds, and they'll be like, ah. And then if you still win the game, that felt so good. Like at Warcraft 3.
You would play it out?
Yeah,
You wouldn't
yeah.
just immediately leave?
No, it's a ladder game, man. I would play it out. Because you know how important ladder points were back then. We didn't have as many tournaments as StarCraft II had, so everyone put a lot of value into the ladder. And I was actually, you know, I was remotely good in Warcraft. Hey, it's gas first, by the way, son. Think about that.
I think he's gonna go 2 Hellion Scout.
That's all?
2 Hellion Scout. Yeah, he should start the factory, and then he should take 2 SCVs off gas. He's gonna open up with a quick reactor. If he can get away with not building Marines, he'll just get a fast reactor with no Marines, put the factory on it, 2 Hellions, and then run them straight into San's base to scout.
Okay, we'll see.
That's the most popular
I've
way
seen
to
it.
play on this map against Protoss, because Reapers in general, it's like, no one really likes them. And then, obviously, if you open without a Reaper, then you're kind of screwed as far as scouting anything goes. Like, if he went for a fast mine drop, I'd be really, really surprised. Mostly because the map is so big, and with cross spawns, like getting over there in time.
I think 6 Marines or 5 Marines. 1.
Yeah, see reactor, no Marine. Yeah, he's gonna just build 2 Hellions. He should take SCVs off gas soon. You don't get a starport with this. Like, if he goes for the starport, he's borderline like all in, maybe Hellion drop, but that's still really, really ballsy.
Or still just Hellions in the natural name and Marines in the main.
He doesn't have enough time to build Marines though. Like, he'd have like 4 Marines tops.
4 Marines and 1 Widowmine. And 6 Hellions. Or 5 Hellions. I'm really keen on
No,
this.
he can't have that many units.
Oh yes, you can, you Terran. You have this.
He's
like,
gonna start stim. He's gonna move the factory.
Do you see this guy, Nate?
No,
you
I
see
don't
this,
believe.
Do you see this yellow SUV?
I don't believe.
It's really good. You see the
Only
one.
2 Marines? What? No. I don't like
I
it.
love how right I've been so far about this Terran builder.
I told you he was gonna get a reactor with no Marines, okay?
And you hate everything about it.
I don't like this build. When I do this build, my opponent rushes out a unit and just kills me.
You know why I thought he was going to do this, Nate? Because often when a Terran player just doesn't get it done with their regular bio play in game number 1, they're like, man, to hell with this. And then game number 2, they do the polar opposite, where they just rely on their drops dealing a lot of damage.
Well, clearly you don't watch my games, because I don't even try for bio. I just go straight to the widow mines.
I know, but you're not, you know.
I'm not ForGG. You gonna tell me that, Kev? I
you're-
can't dream big.
You can definitely dream big, Nate, and I've seen you in WCS round 3, which is very impressive. That's something that you can be proud of, but it's just not yet IEM Taipei group level stage play.
Hasn't lived up to my old Code S trophy on the wall.
So it is indeed going to be Marines in the main base. I would have kind of liked it if he had 1 Widowmine in this mix, because I think Marines and 1 Widowmine in the main is so much more deadly than just Marines in the main and Hellions into the natural. But it's still, we'll see how much damage he will be able to do with this. Of course, right now, like Nate said, if you go for a build like this, you need to do a lot of damage. If you don't do a lot of damage, well, the Shrek-tening is coming for you. This is so fortunate, by the way, for ForGG that this probe did not go over here. If this probe would have seen it, it's so much easier for a Protoss to properly defend against this.
Hey, he has no idea what's coming.
Nope, and that's the only way that this build is going to work for ForGG. The probe is...
Banshee?
What? Oh my god, ForGG has gone insane, Nate.
So I take back the part where I said ForGG shouldn't do anything crazy. Well, actually, I will keep that. I'll still say he shouldn't do anything
the probe
crazy.
still doesn't know. Oh my god, your life could be so much easier right now, son. He will, of course, have Photonerve just here. Are the Marines being
god,
dropped?
dude, this is like, this is exactly the way I love to do it. You drop right on the ramp and you just basically force him.
So many probes are going to die.
You force him to photon overcharge and then just go the other way. Look, all the probes, hell yeah!
Wow, that's actually really good for Sun.
That's around, though.
Yeah.
That shouldn't have happened.
Wow, ForGG actually just threw a huge opportunity to kill a ridiculous amount of probes.
Maybe wants to get the control, so he's possible. Another Hellion. Oh, 2 more Hellions ran by and just got wrecked instantly. Those 3 Hellions actually should have just won in the game.
Yeah, I know. Those 3 Hellions should have killed at least 10 or so workers.
It's so smart of San to work on this medevac too. Once that's dead, like all the micro potential is gone from this because the Marines don't have as much range as the Stalkers.
Now the only thing...
He's still going Hellion Banshee.
Yeah.
Does he know that this guy is playing Protoss and not Zerg?
This reminds me of that game he played
Another
on
factory. Wait. He's still on 1 base though.
I know.
What are you doing?
I don't know. This is ForGG has gone insane.
I don't know why I say wouldn't do anything crazy. There's some guy out there that's gonna be like, wow, I thought you as a Terran player you should just be able to predict that someone's gonna go 2 factory mass Hellion Banshee. I'm like, God, man, this guy. I don't even know if this is 4GG. Daishi like sat down at his PC. He's like, let's build some helis.
All right, so this Benchi in the natural is actually doing quite some work. There's not a single observer yet on the map. Son is like, you know what? This is stupid. This doesn't make any. I've lost against Cloak Benches today, by the way, on ladder. I feel so much less noob right now. Stalkers are saying hello. The thing is, 4GG has nothing at home. I hope he has a Banshee that's about to pop, because everything he has over here, well, he gets a good shot up. This is just the most ridiculous battle I've ever seen in TvP.
Yeah. Well,
no, stop shooting at Stalkers.
Hellions aren't supposed to be able to win this fight, but with pulling SCVs, he can buy himself time. And as you were asking for, Roddy, that Banshee will finish. The Observer is here, though, so the Banshee inside of San's main will die.
The thing is, it's 41 probes against 17 SCVs, because if you play on one base as a Terran player, you don't have a very good economy.
Yeah, there's still some guy out there who thinks that mules are going to carry 4GG through this game.
The thing is, if 4GG would have controlled his units better, he would have killed over 20 probes this game. And
if he controlled his first 3 Hellions, you know, if there's one person I know who's really good with just 3 units, it's you, Roddy.
I was gonna say 3 is my favorite nominee from anything tonight.
I won't argue that.
3 red on the roulette wheel. That's what I was referring to.
San starts an Immortal. There are a lot of Hellions on the map.
This is building Hellions state against Blink Stalkers.
You what?
How is 4GG ever going to win this game? It's just not gonna happen.
He must be on full life till after that last one.
Yeah.
Like, he must have just been so upset. There's no way you practice for a tournament and you say to yourself you're going to win a game with builds like this.
I mean, if he would have controlled his units better, he would have actually killed so many pros.
He should have won the game very quickly. Like, he should have instantly won the game with his first 3 Hellions.
Man, it feels almost like very anticlimactic to just end this series, this part of the broadcast like this. But just like that, San is going to take a 2-0 victory over a 4GG that has gone insane.
That's arguably the most disappointing series I think I've seen in the whole tournament.
That's
that was just...
I mean, those 3 Hellions in the main, there were Marines guarding the ramp that were in the concave as well, so it would have been tricky for the Stalkers, you know, to get past it.
The whole point is that the Marines are the bodyguard, right? Yep. Like, they're the Marines are the friends of those girls that you want to hit on. They're in your way, and these Hellions are supposed to just go and completely wreck face while they block you. But the Marines...
So the Hellions are the bad guys who have to...
Well, the Hellions got wrecked. Like, the Hellions had, you know, it was wide open.
Bodyguard.
Yeah, exactly. It was wide open, right? It was wide open. He was going to go in the end zone. The defender wasn't there to watch. Okay. And he just dropped the ball completely.
All right, so...
The probes shouldn't be able to kill 3 Hellions. The probes. But the probes actually won the fight. It just doesn't make any sense.
So the pros were actually the bartenders who were not supposed to take part.
Something like... My point is, 3 Hellions should be able to kill an infinite number of probes.
No, and it would have been so beautiful as well, because there was absolutely nothing...
Terrible now.
I know, but I was making fun of you as well. No, but there was just nothing in the main base, and these units had to be on the other side, otherwise the Marines would actually win that fight. Like 7 Marines with us medevac healing, it can kill 3 Stalkers if the Protoss messes up. So it was just like, it was an open playing field for 3 Hellions, and the probes, they would get pulled, so they would go with funnel through, you know, the pylon and the Nexus. Everything was going to be lined up, and I was ready to cast that game, as in some beautiful Hellion shots there, great control.
Say all the probes are lined up. Yep. Oh my god! And then
line them up, barbecue. You know, throw out all the cliches, but no.
Nope.
They get one surround of, and it's like, okay, that's unfortunate for 4GG, but that can happen. Then he lost his second Hellion as well, and you're just like, no, you're just like so dead right now. And then, you know, the Cloak Banshee could have done a lot of damage. I still don't think that would have ever been enough, because it was 40 workers against like 20.
One base Terran is not a thing in this matchup.
But what could have happened though is that the Cloak Banshees would have been able to kill 10-15 workers, then you just try to replace those workers and you actually have no unity in natural.
Yeah, then the Hellions run in again and they kill everything.
Yeah, but the Stalkers that were attacking on the other side of the map, you know, took priority for 4GG. So 4GG had to make sure that he didn't just lose everything in his main. So he was controlling the SCVs and the Hellions at home. And then the Banshee was just shooting at Stalkers, which is obviously a huge waste of time, because if there are no Stalkers
it didn't even kill the Stalker.
No, of course.
It attacked one Stalker,
and
the Stalker ran away, and then it attacked the other one, and it was like, well...
Yeah, but that's just because he was microing the other side of the map, and you can't blame him. But if he would have shift-clicked on 12 probes, he would have killed all 12.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably still lose the game though by then, because you know he's still down 20 workers.
Because he's still down 20 workers and doesn't have anything that can even shoot a Mothership Core.
Once in a blue moon, 4GG brings us something crazy. He tried to go one base against Life on merry-go-round in the Dreamhack final. That didn't go very well. But after that, he still won. Unfortunately for him, this time there is no comeback for 4GG.
There's only chance now for one Terran to make it into the final bracket of this tournament.
Maru.
That's Maru.
Meru. Alrighty, Soulcave vs Live is still going on, and I want to catch the final moments of that series as well, as the score is currently 1-0 in favor of Live. So there is a chance we'll see a rematch between Soulcave and Sun on the main stream. For now, we're going to head over to a pretty large break, so you can just go ahead and mute us if you didn't do that already for our terrible commentary. And after that, we'll be back with the opening match of Group D. I'm not sure yet which match it's going to be. I'm sure they will cast Meru because they're all a bunch of Terran fanboys over there. So we will probably get Hydra versus Parting. That's going to be our match, but that won't start for another 30 minutes or so. You're watching the Intel Stream Masters Taipei, brought to you by Intel, Gigabyte, BenQ, HyperX, and Rocket. Stay tuned, more StarCraft II action coming your way.